So every day we would go to the fashion shows, and then we would go back to our hotel rooms. And in Paris, for example, we always rented the top floor of Hotel Colbert in the shadow of Notre Dame. It was very, very American in Paris.
Yes.
And everybody would get very, very busy. I would sketch, people would write, and then we would send these reports out to be Xeroxed in those days. And then this was where we got crazy. Every night we would have a fleet of motorcycle messengers pick up these reports fresh out of the Xerox machine and deliver them to hotel rooms all over Paris. The people that were there to see,
that was the crazy part.
What we thought of that day's collections.
Yes.
It was so exciting.
It was exciting. Yes. But the pressure, I mean, we were seeing shows. Sometimes it was more than one. It could be 2 shows a day. Coming back,
maybe more than 2 shows a day.
2 or 3 or 4, and then coming back to the hotel. You were sketching. We're trying to figure out. We had creative meetings right there, trying to figure out what do we take from this show or these shows. Writing them up, headlines and details, and it was just it was amazing that we did that. Yes. I mean, and as we just said, it was so well run. I mean, it was run like a corporation.
Yes, absolutely.
It was boom, boom, boom. This is what we do.
And our monthly reports, the I am report, was like the Bible for people in the industry for many years. And each one was at least 100 pages. That was my ballpark figure for planning.
Yes.
Producing 100 pages a month, 12 months of the year, plus all of the news flashes. And we kept adding products. Remember,
Color Forecast.
Color Forecast. We had the Image newsletter. For a while, in order to have legitimate press credentials, we actually edited magazines from the Far East. We had our own magazine called Image Magazine, and we had a magazine called Couture Mode, and we had a magazine called Men Mode. So we were actually writing magazines. I can remember when it was time for the magazine to be produced, I would just sit down at the typewriter and start the magazine, page 1, and just write the articles, write the interviews and things. So it was, as you said, it was like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it really was.
Because there was no wiggle room for mistake. No. Although, I mean, as a business, the mistakes were made. I mean, and sometimes the mistakes were with personnel. Not. Tell about some of your big personnel mistakes, Lee.
Well, there was one very dear friend of mine that we hired as a sales agent. And I taught her everything, absolutely everything about the company and how it ran and what we did. And I don't know why I did that, as I said, naive or something, but taught her everything, thinking she would move up the chain and become more and more helpful. And in the end, she stole our client list, stole many of our clients, and then sued me in a fabricated racketeering RICO case. And
she started a competitive business,
and
right?
Started a competitive business, which was the worst part. But I had to, after a while, become my own attorney as a racketeering expert, which was quite an experience. But yeah, she started a competitive company, and it was a big betrayal. It was huge.
Yes, but obviously I Am International survived. And
survived very well.
The good always win.
The good.
And what about that guy that you hired as an office manager in New York who was a bit on the scary side?
Oh, he was such a good accountant. I mean, he was really good. He was able to, I was going to say juggle figures, but that's not really what accountants should do. But yes, this was the kind of crazy stuff that used to happen to us. It turns out he was connected to the mafia and carried a gun. I mean, he had a license and all those things that you're supposed to have. But he started to put it on his desk, keep it there, which we got used to. We thought that was just the way IBM ran their business. People put their guns on the top of their desks. But anyway.
You make it sound like the Wild West instead of 7th Avenue.
You want me to tell the story about the competitor?
I don't even remember the story.
Oh,
Do
well,
tell.
one day I was complaining to Sheldon, his name, about a competitor whose name will remain anonymous. And I was just saying, oh, you know, he's doing this and that and the other and stealing this and took a trend. And he said, he was standing right behind me, walking right behind me, and he said, do you want me to have my guys talk to him? I said, no, Sheldon, no, don't talk to anybody. Anyway, that was the end of that. But yes, that was pretty controversial.